A little boy about the age of 6 with small red wings waits impatiently in the living room of his home, watching his hero idol, Endeavor, on TV. On this night, his new baby sibling will be born. His mother has been in labor for almost 12 hours now. It won't be much longer before his new sibling is born. As the clock struck midnight, a baby's cry was heard. What is this? Blue wings. Another monster child. What the hell is wrong with you, Tommy? You're giving birth to monsters. He hears his father yell from the bedroom. He quickly but quietly walks to the door. His father opens the door and leaves the house, shoving the child to the side. Out of my way, you beast. Once his father slammed the door behind him and the baby started crying louder, he turned towards the door to see his mother sitting on the bed, gently holding a tiny baby with blue wings as small as his Endeavor doll. Kigo, dear. Come meet your new little sister, Reika Takami. His mother says with a tired smile on her face. He looks to see a beautiful baby girl wrapped in an old blanket, sleeping peacefully in his mother's arms. He smiles at her as he sits on the bed next to his mother. For 2 weeks, he did nothing but help his mother take care of his new sister, being proactive of her when it came to his father. On the day of her 2 weeks of being born, the HSPC attacked. His mother hid them just in time. Before Kigo got caught, he wrote a note and placed it in her blanket before putting her down in front of a house. He lays down his Endeavor doll on top of her. I'm sorry I can't do more for you, little sis, but I hope that you find a nice family that will love and care for you just as much as Mom and I have, and that you will grow up to be big and strong like me and Endeavor. I leave you with my Endeavor doll. Take it everywhere you go. He rings the doorbell, then runs off. A young woman about the age of 25 opens the door to see little Reika, sleeping peacefully. Who is it, Diana? A young woman from inside the house asked. It's a baby. And it has a note. The young woman said as she gently picked up the baby, bringing her in the house. My name is Reika Takami. I am 2 weeks old and my big brother, Kigo, wrote this letter. Our home was attacked, so our mother forced us to flee. My brother wanted to find a safe place for me and so chose you to be my new parents. By the time you read this, my brother would have been caught. Please, we beg you. Raise me into a big and strong young woman, is what the note said. The place that Kigo had taken her to was an orphanage. 2 months later, the orphanage was attacked by a minor villain. The villain grabbed Reika, who was holding on to her Endeavor doll tightly, and formed a knife with his finger, pointing it to her neck. Nobody move or I'll kill the baby, he said in a threatening tone. A couple of minor heroes, Shrinky Dink and her sidekick, Frankenstein, arrived and stopped the villain. Shrinky Dink looked at Reika and immediately wanted to adopt her. So she did. Frankenstein did not like Reika at all. Shrinky Dink brought Reika to her best friend's house to introduce her to his family, the Tokoyamis. Serena. It's been a long time, Mr. Tokoyami said as he smiled, letting her in. Darling. Serena's here and she brought a surprise. Dear, keep your voice down. I just put Fumikage down for his nap, Mrs. Tokoyami said. She gasped when she saw Reika in Serena's arms. Serena. Did you adopt the child you saved? sure did. I figured that Fumikage needs a friend around his age to grow up with. Plus there's something about her that intrigues me. According to Diana, the orphanage mother, she never lets go of this Endeavor doll, and she came with a letter that was written by her brother a couple months ago. I'm thinking that this doll belonged to her brother, she said. How old is she? Mrs. Tokoyami asked. I think 2.5 months, so she's still young. Fumikage is about a year old, right? She asked as she looked at the Tokoyamis. They both nodded their heads. Reika started to wake up and cry. I guess that means that it's time to feed her. An hour later, after Serena and Mrs. Tokoyami fed Reika, they laid her down next to Fumikage in his crib. He wakes up a few minutes later to see her sleeping soundlessly next to her. A few years later, Fumikage was learning to control his new quirk, Dark Shadow, a sentient creature of darkness. But they mostly argued. Reika comes up to them and lightly baps them on the beaks and between their eyes. Bad Fumi, bad Shadow. The two of you are one and the same, just like brothers that share a deep bond to one another. The two of you need to learn to get along if you want to work together, she explained, as she placed her hands on her hips. But Ray, he keeps reading my mind when I tell him not to. Fumikage whined. Hey, it's not like I want to read your mind, pal, Shadow said as he crossed his arms. Shadow, you are Fumi's quirk. The two of you are supposed to read each other's minds and work together. The two of you are a team. You want to be a hero like Mommy when you grow up, right, Fumi? She explained. Why, yeah, of course I do, he said. In order for you to become a hero, you and Shadow need to get along, she said as she smiled cutely. They both blushed slightly, looking away. Well, Dark Shadow, should we give it a try? Fumikage asked as he glanced at Dark Shadow. May as well give it a shot, he said. About 2 years later, Fumikage and Dark Shadow have been practicing their teamwork, allowing their bond to grow stronger. You think we'll be able to protect Reika now? Fumikage asked as he looked at Dark Shadow. I don't think. I know we can protect her no matter what comes our way, Dark Shadow said. Little did they know that fate would soon tear them apart, for a few days later, Shrinky Dink was called to a rescue mission, but never returned. Reika tried to sneak out of the house to look for her mother, but Fumikage stopped her, thanks to Dark Shadow keeping an eye on her. Ray, where are you going at this hour? He asked. I need to find Mom and bring her back home, she said. Ray, you can't. What if something happens to you? At least let me and Dark Shadow come help you, Fumikage said in a worried tone. Believe me, I wish you could, but this is something I have to do on my own, she said as she looked off to the side. Her eyes widened as he and Dark Shadow hugged her tightly. Please, Reika, don't leave us alone. She hears him crying. Who will we protect if you aren't with us? Dark Shadow said in a saddened tone. She smiles and places her hands on the sides of their faces, pulling them close to her. Don't worry. I'll come back to you. I promise, she said as she released them. Fumikage dries his tears, then looks at her with a serious look in his eyes. I swear. If you don't come back to us by tomorrow, I swear that I will come looking for you, and I won't ever give up until I've found you, and bring you home. Where you belong. No matter how long it takes, I will bring you home again. And once I do, you won't leave my side ever again. Understand me, Reika Takami? Fumikage said bravely. She smiles and nods her head. I'll hold you to it then, Fumi. Take care of my Endeavor doll for me while I'm gone. She said. She kisses his cheek before she runs off into the night. And that is the last time anyone